Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video. All right, so I know I got content to watch, but I forgot I made content for myself to watch. So I'm making more content thinking I didn't make content to watch, but that means more content for you and more content for me to watch. So here we are talking about Bol Bol yet again. We made a video last night talking about Bol Bol because I want teams to give them an opportunity who are capable of developing the player. And this morning, I'm saying I want the Lakers to be that team. I said that in the video that I made that I forgot I made that you can check out. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I want to see, man. This morning he's a free agent. Inexplicably, the Magic decided to waive him. I don't know if something took place. Maybe there's some information we need to know about that would help us understand why that happened, other than them just not necessarily valuing the talent the way maybe I would. But I just think Bol Bol's market is vast. There should be at least 5 or 6 teams that want him, and because of it, unless they just anticipated him being waived for some reason, maybe that information could have gotten leaked or something, there should be no reason why the Magic felt they couldn't make a trade for him. If they told everybody, hey, Bol Bol's up for exchange, I think they would have got a nice return for him. Not, well, nice relative to what it is he's shown, but like, you know what I'm saying? He has value in this league. So to release the player speaks to either some incident may have taken place we don't yet know about, or his medicals, as I may have mentioned in the video before yesterday, may be something we're going to find out about, or something that would help make it make sense to us that the Magic did not want to trade him, but more so saw him as a useless piece that they could send into the NBA wild. Which to me, in a year when Wembanyama's coming into the league and Chet Holmgren's coming back from injury, makes about as little sense as, well, waving Bol Bol when he's 22 years of age. I just don't understand it, man. It doesn't make any sense at all. He's like 7'2", 7'3" with a guard's gifts and basketball talent, like a guard. So it's like, for me, the only thing that would get in the way of me wanting this player is something that would have to do with behavioral or something, issues like that, or medical issues that have to do with something like that. I heard in the past that he had a mercurial type of personality, didn't quite get along with everybody, but I don't really know what the hell that has to do with him being an NBA basketball player, to be honest with you. A guy can do his job, you know what I mean? Not everybody has to be friends with everybody. Just come in and do your job. Now, if he needs to mature at his age, who doesn't? Is what I always say when I hear stuff like that about like a young player. Who doesn't? And that's it, man. I just think that people give up on people a little too fast. People don't take to people very well because they don't understand their personalities or what they've been through or what have you. And I don't know. Maybe I would have the feel the same way of in regards to certain personalities. I've been around certain people that I'm sure I'd rather not be around, and I'm sure vice versa or whatever. But the point is, when you got a player who's capable of doing what he does and is got the body that he has, in the era that we're in, letting him go makes very, very, very little sense, and unless it's something like that in place that we've already mentioned. So I'm wondering, I think there's, this is just like the Cam Whitmore situation in a way where you're just kind of wondering, what is it that I don't know that I should be concerned with before bringing this player in? That's what comes to mind as a Laker fan. What is it that I don't know that I should be concerned with before bringing him in? We've had situations where we've brought players in and we took flyers on them and it worked. And right now, I think our team is on sort of a high in regards to that. Not only that, but just as I've always said on this channel, you want to find as many pieces that you can turn into something that you can. Getting from very valuable, very, you want to get guys at a discount is what I'm trying to say. As long as you can get them in a way that allows you to showcase them and make them better, you can really have something going for yourself. My only concern is when you have too many of those pieces relying on one another. You know what I mean? That's my thing. Because I used to think like this in such a way where I would always want to bring young talent together and not have no vets. I've been screaming that on this channel in a lot of different ways, but you do need some solidified pieces to teach a core how to be a core. And I think that's what the Houston Rockets ultimately haven't had over the last 4 years, which is why they're so frustrated with their young talent, is because they haven't matured. in them at all, and it's because they didn't have anybody teaching them how to do so. They were just relying on each other, and that doesn't work, man. And so, um, I think the Lakers don't have that problem with LeBron and AD in place. We got Gabe Vincent in place. We got Prince in place. I think we're in a good space when it comes to that. But it's not just about the behavior and the coming together. It's about basketball on the floor. Can guys who are inexperienced, who have maybe had some issues in the past, or whether or not they can make it, or maybe haven't proven stuff when people thought they may have been capable of it. If you can bring a bunch of those misfits, so to speak, together, is it going to crash and burn, or are they going to benefit from one another, having all been in that underdog type of role? I think we got the right coach for the personalities we're asking to come together. And I think this is when Darvin Ham really shines, because he's a player's coach, believes in the guys who don't, who struggle. We saw him play Beasley a lot through struggles. Russell Westbrook got a lot of opportunities under Darvin Ham to get better and deal with his struggles. So I just think that you got the right coach for that in place right now, for what it is that we're asking our team to become. I just look at Bol and I say, man, would he not just fit in perfectly based on his story? When you look at guys on this team who have had that type of thing go on, where people are doubting them or cut them a bunch of times, or they come from circumstances where they had to get it out the mud. So many of our guys are like that. Just about everybody on our team, not named Bron James and AD this year, kind of has a story like that, where either people don't think they have a motor, so they have, even Max Lewis is a guy where he had a great first half of the season, second half of the season he disappeared. We don't know. It's like everybody on this team. Jalen Hood-Schifino, yeah, he's a good player in the range, but we don't know. I'd rather have other guys. All of our guys have been second guessed. Gabe Vincent came out of the G League, had to get it out the mud in Miami. Even I was telling people they need to blow the team up because of role players that hadn't proven themselves. It's just one of those situations where he had to get it out the mud. They ended up overachieving, getting to Miami and making things happen, getting to the finals, multiple circumstances where they can be proud of their season consecutively. You know what I mean? Just keeping it going. Cam Reddish. How many times have we talked about Cam Reddish needing opportunities? Even in college, people were saying he didn't have the motor. His potential was greater than his intentions. That kind of thing. Goes to different teams, doesn't work out. Arguably, possibly his last stand. He's perfect for that whole scenario, as to which you continue to look on down the line. A guy like Taurean Prince. Some would say he's just a role player, average guy. Happy to have him at $5 million, maybe not a dollar more. Got waived by a team that he really genuinely helped. They didn't pick up his option. And I saw his post. Woj. He found out via Woj. You understand what I'm saying? Taurean Prince found out via Woj that he was being waived by the Timberwolves. They didn't even give him a call. Like, that type of thing. Put a chip on a man's shoulder, even though he's been in the league for 11 years. I'm not worth $7 million after all I've shown. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Second guessed, waived. Happy he's here. This just keeps going on and on. Everybody on our team should have a chip on their shoulder. Everybody on this team has their handful of haters. People that don't believe in them. People that don't think they're as good as they say they are. And, they got something to show. Jackson Hayes, same type of situation. Drafted 8th overall. People didn't even say he should have. Some said he shouldn't have been drafted that high. Hell, I don't believe he should have been drafted that high that day. I thought the Pelicans should have went in a different direction. He has his naysayers. He has people that say he can't play. Guy got on Laker Nation yesterday from New Orleans. Said he can't play. He's not a very good basketball player. Like, if I hear stuff like that, and I know I can jam the ball like he can and block shots like he's capable of, I'm going to be listening to every coach on every level that can allow me over the next several years to shut people like him up. Straight up. I don't care how bad I am, quote unquote, at this sport. You best believe I'm getting better from here. That's how it got to be. And I think that we got enough guys on our team up and down the roster that fit that mold. Look at a guy like Castleton coming in off, didn't want to be drafted, just like Austin Reeves, both of them guys coming through with that path, trying to maneuver their way to the Lakers to put themselves in a position to be on the right path, as opposed to some of these guys who don't have that choice when they get drafted. You know what I'm saying? Castleton's taking his destiny in his own hands, and he found himself to the Lakers. Austin did the same thing. They're getting it out the mud. They got to prove it. You understand what I'm saying? More of that. Rui Hachimura didn't hardly get no minutes in Washington, was drafted as a lottery pick, got hurt, and then they started putting people ahead of him. Brought in Kyle Kuzma, said he was going to be a better version of him and all that. Everybody on our team, just about everybody on the team, man, has something to prove. And so that's what I like about this mold. And I just think that Bol Bol and Mo Bamba and Christian Wood, all of them dudes, should be in this situation based on that criteria. All three of them. Christian Wood, a guy who nobody believes in right now. We talked about his value and how it fluctuated up and went all the way down. I think he has plenty to prove. I think he should also be one of them guys trying to get better defensively to shut some people up. You know what I'm saying? Defense is effort. Some people are just not going to read the sport very well. Some people are just going to, you know what I mean? I'm not that great of a basketball mind, so I ain't going to sit up here and act like I'm any better. But the point is, some people are just not going to be quick to pick up stuff no matter what 178 times. Other people just need the motivation to do the reps. Maybe they just weren't motivated to get better until they had that certain thing come together to help them understand that they need to get it together. And hopefully the tenure with being on LeBron James and Anthony Davis' team can help these guys understand that. Hopefully being in this environment where this is the type of conversation we having can help them get the vibes that, yo, you're going to be better. Not only are you coming here to get better, but we're going to make you better. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I want to tell a guy like Cam Reddish, tell a guy like Jackson Hayes, all them dudes, you're going to get better here. You know what I'm saying? This ain't one of them places where you got to keep on wondering whether or not your talent is going to be met with the right motivation. Because the Lakers have been doing the right thing over the last couple of years to make sure that that motivation would be in place. So that's what I want to say, man. I want us to bring one of those three players, if not as many of them as we can put on the cap, to this situation. I would love for us to have all three of those guys. And yeah, they would have to make sacrifices. No, it wouldn't be the minutes for everybody. But I think if we got all of that, you would have so much backup for Anthony Davis. If you can get all them dudes to split a small bag for one single season, I think there would be nothing in the way of us winning an NBA championship. And that's a hell of a sacrifice to ask men to make. But this is a hell of a league we're in right now, where an opportunity like that is real for them dudes. It's real. Not to say that that would even be possible, but it's real. As in a sense that if you have that type of firepower with what we already have, those guys would all be able to say they're NBA champions together, in my humble opinion. That's what I say. It's too bad I don't think nothing like that would be real. Christian Wood, Bol, and Bamba should all be looking to get $1 more than what it is I would be asking them to take in this situation, to say the least. But for guys who need to showcase themselves on the biggest stage to make sure that other people understand they need to get it buck, you know what I'm saying, that they need to be considered one that are worthy of making that type of money. It's about getting showcased. It's about being in the right situation, and it's about winning and being a contributor to winning. So that's what it is, man. I hope those guys all figure it out. I actually am a fan of all three of those guys' game, ironically enough. Bamba, Bol, and Christian Wood. I think they're all three of them are in a position to where they should be in a situation where they're looking to increase their value. They should be confident that they can if they get in the right situation, all three of them. And I think three smart GMs are going to take a look at all three of those guys. That's what I think. I really think that. I just wanted to say that. Hopefully the Lakers can find a way to get one of the three of them. My pecking order right now is Bol, Bamba, and Wood. I don't value Wood as much just because I'm concerned about his defensive issues. And I know Bol is a bad defensive player from what I understand, but his body and length makes it so that I really am not interested. I don't care because he's a ball handler, and I think that type of unicorn is going to be worth 27 times what he's going to be gotten today. And even if it takes 7, 8 years to develop him to his best self, which is kind of ridiculous, at the end of the day, you're still going to want a player that length and that height to be as good as you can make him be. And so that's what I got to say. I don't think Bol Bol is devoid of talent. I think it's the opposite, and I just don't think the teams that he's gotten a chance to be on have unlocked that talent in any way. And maybe he doesn't love the game that much. Maybe he just wants to do something else with his life. But I don't think that. Not based on what I saw. And it seems to me he's getting better. Regardless if you think he has certain limitations or whatever you may feel about his game, the fact of the matter is last year was the beginning of his breakout. So whoever picks him up, if they give him 15, 20 minutes a game, he's going to give them at least what he gave Orlando last year, which is a lot when you consider what the stats were when he blocked shots and get points and all of this. And he scores so easily at the rim. When he drives at the rim, he really does have ISO talent. So it's like if you don't want him to do nothing else, you can at least put the ball in his hands and ask him to break people down and dare somebody try to contest his shot at the highest point. I mean, all I got to do is ask a guy to be who he is. You know what I mean? I don't have to ask a guy to do more than he's supposed to be doing. Just figure out what the hell he does and put him on the floor to do that. That's literally it, man. So that's where I'm at with Bol Bol. I hope that he chooses the Lakers, and I hope the Lakers choose him. And I hope if that takes place, he is showcased as a backup player next to a guy like Vanderbilt. In certain situations, maybe play what's my guy's name? Wenyen Gabriel minutes, who also needs to be signed in this league, I believe, definitely. And don't underestimate what Wenyen Gabriel can be for this team as well. Yeah. But nevertheless, I just want the Lakers to get one of those guys, man. I think that would solidify us having a full roster. And I think one of them would be very happy to be here. I really believe that. I would put P.J. Washington in there, but I just think he's going to demand a bit more money than those guys, and we don't have it. But whoever wants to be here at the center position, whoever wants to be here is over 6'8". I think that's the last move for the Lakers to make. And I personally think that we need ball handlers. That's another reason why I want Bol Bol, because out of all of those guys, I think he's probably the one I trust to put the ball on the floor and get to the hole and put pressure on the rim more so than Bamba is going to shoot jumpers. Christian Wood is a monster on the inside. We don't have to question that. That two-hand dunk is going to be repeated over and over and over again so long as coaches continue to spam it. And he can shoot the three very well, so he's probably the best offensive talent in that mix. No question. It's just whether or not he's going to think defense at all. That really concerns people about him. But yeah, I don't worry about him scoring the ball at all. But putting it on the floor, does he have a handle like that? I don't know. And is he as tall and long as Bol Bol? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So that's another thing. And so for me, that's what I'm looking at. And then Bamba, as I said, a shooter. Who's other names that I mentioned? Wenyen Gabriel's a role player. I don't think he has the upside that those guys have, unfortunately. And so that's where my head is, man. That's why I have it listed as I do. I really, really want the Lakers to take a look at one of them dudes. And hopefully in doing so, we will walk out of there with Bol Bol. Straight up. That's what I want. So that is pretty much my little Laker video. I will go back and watch the one I made before this and now this one that I thought I didn't. That I thought I needed to make, obviously, that I didn't need to make because obviously now I have another video to watch on top of it. So that's what I got to say, man. Bonus Laker video for everybody. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.